Now, I was staggered to read the other day. If you're caught with an unprescribed vape in the ACT, you can be fined, get this, 320 times more than if you're busted with a gram of heroin. Let's go think about that.
Are you really not surprised?
I was surprised until I read it.
We're
Staggered. That's right. That's a different emotion.
We're a bit of a joke of a country, really.
We are. So you can be fined $32,000 for having the vape and potentially a 2-year jail sentence. But if you've got illegal drugs like heroin, Class A drugs, $100 fine, maybe you get referred off to a drug treatment services. Paul?
It's madness. Of course, it's stupid. But it's double, triple, quadruple standards, right? Where, personal use, okay, fine, you do you. Well, that would extend to vaping, right? That would extend to tobacco use.
Yes.
But instead, if you light up a cigarette in the ACT, you're the beginning of the devil, let alone this scenario. You have the absurdity of formerly the Greens and now multiple people elected to our state parliaments, and in 2 of those states they have the balance of power. It's about legalising cannabis, right? But what would all of their positions be, again, about tobacco smoking? Yeah. Tobacco smoking is terrible for your lungs, but if you want to light up a joint, it's like okay.
And let's be honest, when you're mulling it up, you've got to base a little bit of tobacco in there.
Allegedly.
Good local knowledge. Good local knowledge, Russ.
Good.
Back when Ross had long hair, everyone. Back when Ross had long hair.
That's exactly
but
right.
it's very clear the government do not care for our health. This is more of a, obviously they care about money and how do they make money by regulating this industry because,
Well, that's why I think that they should legalise and tax.
So let me ask, what's better for you, a vape or maybe a
gram of heroin?
Or maybe a little bit of speed, maybe on a bikie.
Yeah, I think the problem. I think the problem is that there's actually, I don't know if it's money making so as much as it is just this ideological sort of, and you get this.
Puritanism.
You see this all the way, and you've seen it in the vaping debate from the very beginning. This ideological idea that, that all legal drugs must be bad, but illegal drugs are overly demonised. And
crazy.
the system's all back to front and up. There's a dominant paradigm has to be inverted, and basically
because that's what they use. That's the thing.
That's right.
If they smoke tobacco or they smoke vapes, you would see no movement whatsoever.
Yeah, that's right.
But because
if Donald Trump was a stoner,
but I'm saying their lifestyles are more exposed to this than that.
Yeah, that's right. And I think there is a very, very strong case, and I've said it 1,000 times before, for vaping as a nicotine cessation device or a smoking cessation device to be used, i.e. Nicotine vapes that taste like cigarettes, and people using them to quit smoking and getting rid of all the barriers, all the roadblocks that they're having. That's how I quit smoking. That's how everyone I know has quit smoking. And I was, when you're a smoker, all you do is hang out with smokers. Everyone now has moved on to vapes. I personally feel fantastic. I haven't grown a second head or got any weird side effects. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
You did vote yes for the voice.
But that's right.
And you can't get
I can't come back from that.
That's right.
Apart from that,
Thinks Albo's a good bloke. No, good point.
Okay.
Really good point.
Apart from the delusions of grandeur.
Yeah, thank you.
So one other thing for you, Evelyn, and that is, if you think about this, taking heroin is seen to be a part of the welfare system. You poor thing, you've obviously got some issues, you've taken those A-class drugs. Having a vape or a cigarette, actually that's a vice. You're a bad person. So this is where somehow we've just turned upside down what is a vice and what is somehow in need of some social assistance. That's what's crazy about this.
Look, there's few things that the government touches that we're better off for. Correct. I think that includes a lot of the regulation around things. That being said, I'm not saying that we should unregulate illicit drugs. I have seen the bad end of that, and I'm not saying that at all. But if the government took as seriously our health as they claim to be around this subject in other areas, like, my goodness, we actually might get something done in our country. I think that, like I said, this is about money. This isn't about anything else, and they're only exposing themselves the more that they crack down on this issue. Yeah. They're sort of showing, all their cards here, and we can all see it now, and hopefully, regardless of what people think is right or wrong with their health, kids don't do drugs. Trust me, you will regret it.
Correct.
I have seen how people cook drugs, and it's disgusting.
Well, that's my next point. To Paul, I'm going to say this, because this goes back to COVID. where people would not take the vaccine because they were going to be terrible and bad for you. Okay, with
Hey, speak for yourself. I didn't take it.
But some of those people may have been in some of the communities where they were quite happy to take other forms of
But this is what's-
homegrown drugs.
But this is what's
True,
amazing, right?
that is true,
And
I
I
will
think
say
some of the best drug education stuff, frankly, was around in the late 90s, early 2000s, where it was like, this is how it's made, right? Anyone who's gone and seen docos where people have gone, off to Colombia or wherever and actually shown how this process works, right? What I find it, again, it's amazing to me that there are people who won't put certain foods in their body but will, on a Friday or Saturday night, trust their local procurer.
There are so many bodily
It's
fluids
madness.
that go into
Madness.
manufacturing of
Well, in fairness to the ACT government, who I would never think I'd come on the show and defend, they actually have never prosecuted anyone over this offence, and they are looking at changing it and reducing the penalties. They say they more want to go after the people who supply illegal
the top
We're going to go after big vape.
dealers,
We're
the
going after
big
big vape. We know they're out there. It was big tobacco, now they're big vape. We're going to put Elliot Ness on them.
We're pretty close to the end.